Ironwood Games. This is Andrew. We are back for our quick draft. We're going to play through our games. We've got this black-red deck, something different for me, trying to get some things. We agonized over some cuts just because I wanted to play with some cards, even though they seemed worse. We ended up cutting some things, and we've got a 40-card deck that I think will do stuff. We'll see. So let's jump into our games. As these are loading, again, like the video if you enjoy it, please subscribe to the channel so we can keep producing content, and you'll know when we make new things. We do some different draft videos. I've been recently doing the Magic Legends on the open beta. I'm going to keep this, and we've got basically a removal, some creatures with Foretell and some things to do. I don't know how great it is as a starting hand, but there's only one way to find out, and it does do some things, so it's not the worst. I'm gonna foretell the Dwarven reinforcements because I can Demon Bolt next turn if he plays something worth killing. I can Jarl is better as a kind of a trick. He's just gonna foretell as well, which works really well for us because what we want to be able to do, and what I like the idea of, is foretelling. Unfortunately, we can't foretell and get our Dwarven reinforcements out. We don't know what his foretell card is. Village Rites as an instant, I think, means we'll build our board, and if for some reason he can target one and destroy one or something, we can Village Rites to draw the cards, and that would be the best use of our mana. And it looks like he's going for a very similar approach here. So I'm happy kind of stalling in this. We've said our deck really wants to be kind of grindy in late game. So I'm going to double foretell here. No attacks. Again, kind of put it back on him and see how he wants to advance the game here. Looks like he's in red, white, maybe red, white, blue. That's interesting if he's willing to offer the trades here. If Cole the Forge Master is important to him. But I'm okay just trading these off. Or taking a trick here and seeing what he's got. We have ways to deal with Cole. I think what we'll do with Cole is we'll just Wither Crown it to neutralize it, and he can either sacrifice it or keep it around, and that's his choice. And I guess that depends again how much he's worried about. He wants to keep it, that's fine. So he's going with, looks like tokens, enchantments, equipment, and this plan is worth him getting out a thing. And so then I will say it's worth me blasting it. I don't know that I need to play the land. Jarl is interesting. We could Kurder and do some other things. I think at this point I'm content to just let this play out and see if he's willing to keep taking the damage on that. Then Wither Crown is doing great work for us. Jarl does have flash. And I think... we might as well flash Jarl out. Yeah, he wants to do that. That's fine. We'll sacrifice it to draw some cards. So a good exchange here. Depending on what we draw, he will probably get his 3 damage in, which is fine. We drew some decent things. I think we'll play Immerstern and discard the Swamp. Because, especially since we drew that mountain, we have plenty of swamps on the battlefield. We have lands. Crush the Weak is definitely interesting. Gets better if he plays another creature with, say, 2 toughness. Alright. Oh yeah, we are gonna foretell both of those. Since it's foretell, we'll do that. Again, if he wants to keep taking damage off of his Forge Master, I'm totally fine with that. If he wants to offer this trade, again, I'm not upset if he used a trick for it to save it. Just trying to decide if I want to play this land out. I think I do, just so we can Immerstern for the win when we want to. We're going to play Curders pretty soon here, since we have at least a creature in our graveyard. I don't know that I want to sack one of our guys yet. I'd like for my opponent to run out of steam, take some more damage from our Wither Crown. Yeah, again, I will gladly offer this trade here. I think we just start with an attack here. See what you got. Yeah, Frostbite is fine. I'd rather use the Frostbite on the 2/1 than on the 2/2 that slightly does something. Alright. I'm thinking about this, but I think because it triggers right after draw, we have to discard whatever we draw, so I want to get like a land or something in hand to be a little safe. Yeah, this Trample is interesting, but Fearless Pup with First Strike just destroys that. Again, we've got Crush the Weak here. If he commits, I'm happy for just a 2-for-1 if he gets another 2 toughness creature on the board. Oh, it's a boast trigger. I misplayed there because I was thinking it was just a activation. It is a boast trigger. So we did get to kill, do that. Yeah, we're gonna Crush the Weak now to get this. I mean, it's essentially a 2-for-1, but it's one. So I think Crush the Weak will kill our Death Knell Berserker, so we're going to sacrifice it. We're going to deal the damage to him. And this is where we hope he doesn't have any way to buff, because if he does have a buff of some sort, then yeah, he can keep some creatures alive. This has gotten pretty close. I would like to be able to get a little advantage here. Sure. So that's good for him. He's going to discard a card. We're going to discard a card. And he, unfortunately, has lethal on board. Which means we have to sacrifice this. I guess it's only a target player. So yeah, it's unfortunate that we are a turn short and a life shy. So he's going to get lethals here. Or not? Okay, then yeah, I don't understand why we went to the extra trouble, but I guess the card's worth it. I'm out of everything. Alright, that was an interesting game. I don't think it was bad. I did misplay with that pup, and that might have changed some blockers and some math at the end, giving us that next turn to get somewhere, but alas, we did not. So, alright, game number 2. I thought the deck did well. We had the one big misplay. I don't think we made any other major errors, maybe some small ones. Again, if you catch anything, feel free, please leave a comment, let me know. Always looking to improve. And let's see in our next match here, our next game, what we can do. So I think this is a fine hand. It gives us some things to do to get us in there. We'll start with Tormentor's Helm, and then we'll either Wither Crown or Foretell. And that all depends again on what our opponent does, what we draw, what we have. So drawing land is okay because it means we know we can hit our 4-drops. Drawing... So I think we're gonna play Wither Crown here. Just to keep him off whatever he's doing. It negates the lifelink. Yeah, probably sacrifices it, and it's just to destroy. I could put out Jarl in response and offer the trade there, but I think our creatures are better suited to coming in later and being able to, yeah, sneak in with something like the Gold Maw can't. Oh, I think it can tap it down before block, so that's interesting. Okay. We will have to see how that works. So we can Fearless Liberator. If he taps it down, that's fine. We can equip and boast next turn. If he destroys it, yeah, that's bad. Oh, I guess we can equip this turn. Force him to use the mana to tap it down. If we didn't, he might think we have something that we can play like Jarl, which we do. But I wasn't gonna play Jarl anyways, so make him a little more uncertain about what cards we might have. Also, this now will trade with the Gold Maw champion, so he's forced to decide if he wants to use the mana to tap it down, to get in the attack, and then he is definitely not doing well on the return. And this is interesting in that I really want to advance. This block here would be very problematic. But I'd like to boast and create the token to get this going. I think we can't afford to. I think we want to kind of drag this out for right now. If we're playing blue-white Foretold, we can foretell this one. Let's think about that. It does turn off Provoke the Trolls, but it leaves Jarl on. Yeah, that's fine. So we'll let me get some of those. Say kind of the worst might be like a Raven, but then we get a 1/1 flyer out of it. Otherwise, he can bounce it and get some things in. He's going to want to build his board at this point, and so I don't mind having kind of a stall. Sure, he's setting up for the long game, which is definitely unfortunate. I think what we're going to do here is we're going to play Jarl at end of turn, no matter what. Although this is a hard sell because we can get a 3-for-1 here. So we're not going to play Jarl because he will die to the Crush of the Weak. We can Carters, and we're going to do this. We're going to sacrifice a creature to kill the Goldmont champion. We can get him back and start going wide. We might take 2 here, but then our Crush the Weak is lethal. Well, or a board wipe as things stand right now. If he commits another creature to the board with 2 toughness, then that's good for us. Yeah, so we have to decide what to discard here. And I think we're going to discard Provoke the Trolls, just because it's the most expensive card we have, and we have other things to be able to do. And here, yeah, that was dealt damage, so we can, I think we can wipe his board between Crush the Weak, see if he's got counter or what, and then we'll Jarl. And then we still have the mana to equip the Tormentor's Helm, and I think we're in a better board state than our opponent right now. He did get to look at some cards and stack his deck a little bit, so we've got to get through a couple of turns, but we're not in a bad spot. That's good for him. His kind of best options at this point are more... Yeah, that's fine. That's what I, in fact, want. As I was saying, his best options at this point are more kind of draw scry spells, I think, to set up his turns. I think we're going to just start trying to go wide here. Thinking he doesn't necessarily have, unless he has a trick or something here, which is fine. Yeah, that's fine. I think we'll still activate the ability because we get 2-1 out of it. You got, oh, double strike, which is fine. We're going to move it here since we have the extra mana and make these both 3/2s that can challenge the Pilfering Hawk. So, yeah, we lost our Fearless Liberator. We already got some value out of him. We got him back, and we got a trick out of our opponent's hand. With our 3 cards to his 1 card, our 2 creatures to his 1 creature, I feel pretty good about this. And this is... Now, what I want to play is Dogged Pursuit and really put the pressure on. I want to attack first just to see if he has something to change the board state, if he blocks, if he's going to take 6. I think, yeah, that's reasonable. And so now we'll play Dogged Pursuit. This just forces a clock. It's a pretty slow clock, but he's out of cards. He's top decking. He's got a 1/2 to my 3/2. And I've got a 2-point life difference each turn, so we drain for 1 on that. Axeguard Braggart, a really good top deck, a really good card. To come off of here, I'm going to Infernal Pet this turn. For the reason of... Next turn, I can play Immerstern Rider and Deathnell Berserker and give him flying and get through. I'm going to attack with my 3/3 because he's not going to take the trade. This Axeguard Braggart is better if he can grow it. So I'm going to take the 3 free damage. I am almost positive that he doesn't block, and he didn't. I'm going to move this over here in the efforts. I'm not going to block, but make him think maybe that I might block, and then he has to commit to... Frostpeak Yeti is definitely good. It's going to get some damage in. If we had a way to pump or do something else, we might block. I'm not going to block because he's obviously going to put the counter on it and would kill my Infernal Pet. And I need my pet to get flying next turn. So this is 7, 8 to us next turn. But he's at 7, essentially. We are going to play Deathnell Berserker. Immerstern Rider, or Raider, I should say. We could have kept the mountain to discard. I want to keep it so that I can move my helm around. And I like Hoggy Mob. I don't want to discard that into a land. So I'm going to keep this here. The other reason I'm wanting to move this is I can't move it on anything to attack, but if this has power 3 when it dies, let's cancel. Let's actually send it in with the attack. I know he's most likely just going to block with the Hawk. Preserve his life. So yeah, we get the extra damage in that way. And now I'm going to move it over to my Berserker. So I can block the Braggart. With my Goblin, I can maybe double block or double block here. And get the 2/2 black zombie out of it. Oh, sure. So he's got a 6/6. I mean, I will just block with everything. That doesn't bother me. It's interesting he's not going to attack with the Yeti. I mean, we'll block with everything because if he doesn't order it right or something, we get an interesting thing. He is on a 6-turn clock. I am under no obligation to attack the Infernal Pet in to trade. Yeah, okay. Put the counter on, untap it. Let's... Okay. Congratulations. So here we're gonna Hoggy Mob. This does kill off that spirit. Yeah, he's gonna give up. Okay. I don't blame him. We're in a pretty good spot. He needs to top deck some good cards every turn. He doesn't know that we just had the one swamp in hand on that. So I think our deck did pretty well there. So we're at 1-1 on this deck. Let's go into a third game. These are going by pretty quick, which is good in our quick draft. We'll see if we get another. Again, on that one, I don't know that we made any major errors, but please, as you're watching these, if you see anything, areas for improvement or things, like I said, I'm always wanting to learn and improve, so please leave any comments, let us know how we might have done that better, sequencing, what we held back for blocks, and kind of the way we moved our equipment around, and things. I think we did fairly good on that one, but there's always room for improvement. Yikes. So Demon Bolt, Village Rites. Our opponent kept a hand of 7. So turn 1, we've got nothing. We are on the draw. Turn 2, we play Immerstern Raider, pitch a mountain. We've had 2 draws. That's our 3rd draw to get a swamp. I don't know the makeup of the different cards. Turn 3, if we do draw the swamp, we still only have the 3 lands. We can ditch Immerstern to draw or foretell the Demon Bolt, and then we can get Dogged Pursuit on, and it's not bad. It could go south very easily. My opponent kept, we're on the draw. I'm gonna keep. If, you know, something here was if, like, Village Rites was our Helm that we could just get on turn 1, absolutely would say it's good. This isn't bad. We definitely do want to draw a swamp, and we want to draw into some land, but flooding out doesn't look like a thing that's gonna be the reason we lose this one right here. But we'll see. Alright, our opponent foretold. Yeah, drawing a mountain is not necessarily what we wanted to do. But it's okay, it's a land. There we go. So trading the mountain for a swamp, that may not be bad. It gets 2 lands off the top, gets us to 4. And we've got blue-green foretell. And then they're gonna put, sure, that's a good card. We are gonna put the swamp in so we can Wither Crown. Right now we're offering the trade. I like village rights to keep that there. I think what we'll do is foretell the Demon Bolt. Leave up village rights mana. We'll leave him back for the block. And I think the trade here is better. But if for some reason he's got a trick or something that'll evade the trade, then we've got village rights to get through that. Yeah, losing Dwarven reinforcements off the top, that would have been a better, I think, foretell card. And that's unfortunate. Here, that's fine. I don't mind kind of keeping a status quo here. I'd be tempted to cancel. The only problem with doing Wither Crown is we only have the 1 swamp right now. Hoggy Mob is definitely something that I like. So I think the way things stand, we're just gonna pass and stare. He didn't do anything. He might have a counterspell that he's sitting on. And if he is sitting on counterspell, or instant and then have turned to scry or do something, but if he's sitting on counterspell, then stalling is generally bad for them. Good for us. In that he doesn't get to do anything. Dogged Pursuit would be great. We'd really like another swamp to be able to get that down. So I think what we'll do is just foretell another card, advance our board just a little bit, and then again keep going. So he might be stuck on land, and this might be a good opportunity for him to get some draws in and kind of fix that. I like our deck, and we like our long game. We want to be comfortable with that. So he still hasn't drawn a land. 4 damage is quite a bit to deal, and I think that it's not worth wasting on kind of a stalemate here in this. I am almost tempted to offer the trade and just see, because I think, but if he doesn't take it and attacks, we're definitely down on that, and I don't think that's as good for us. So I think we're just gonna let him have another chance to draw as we start to flood out. As I said, the one thing we wouldn't be concerned about is flooding out, but no, I think this is fine. If he doesn't draw land, he's discarding. If he does draw land, maybe he's playing some things, and I'm not worried about the counterspell. Because I am a little bit worried about that. Particularly with some of these 4s and 5s. it's something that we have to be a little bit concerned about. So we can poison the cup to destroy that. Draw out a counter, which then lets us play a lot of other things. It would let us scry. And I think we're going to do that, even though it's a destroy and this is just a 3-2. It kind of breaks the stalemate and either fetches out a counter like the Saw It Coming here, or whatever it was. The Demonic Gifts is interesting. That's fine. It gets to come back and put something on the bottom. I'm gonna put, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I'm gonna just put the Death Knell because we have more things. We can't cast the Cinderheart Giant, but I do want to be able to play it. And he can put the Death Knell Berserker on in the graveyard if he thinks that's a problem for us, but he knows we stacked it. Yeah, okay, so he doesn't want us to have another creature on the board, which is fine with me. He doesn't know what we drew here. I think Dogged Pursuit is the best card, but it's very likely he's still on a counter here. For that reason, we're going to play Wither Crown. If he's really wanting to keep the status quo, he has to counter that. Otherwise, it becomes essentially a removal spell. I'm not going to attack. Again, we're just going to keep the status quo here. We're going to see what he's got. I just need to be very careful to play around, because if he's holding back... Yeah, that's fine. He's going to trash some more of our cards. Sure. If he's holding back from playing all out his cards because of those counter spells, then that's good for us. We don't want to give him a good spell to counter and then also end up in a bad spot. So he's going to look at the top card of our library, and he's going to either, if it's a land, I don't see why we wouldn't get it. Yeah, he's going to send a creature to the bottom. That's fine. I think at this point we have enough stuff. We're just going to fire off the Demon Bolt to get hits in as we draw Shackles, which would have been a great Shackles Village Rites turn. That's all right. We all attack. Now, here's where I don't believe for 1 mana or for 1 blue he can counter anything other than a null. But I could be wrong. I want to advance the board. So the option was Dogged Pursuit, which puts the clock on, or Haggy Mom is just a better clock. Haggy Mob, not Haggy Mom. And then he has to answer it with something like that. That's fine. If he doesn't, and again he has to use his mana to answer it, if he doesn't, we're putting a big clock on, and he's in trouble. Now I could Village Rites, but then I don't get the bird out of it, and I'd rather have more things to do. So here is where we've kept Village Rites up for so long, just for this play, knowing that he's going to try and remove it at some point. And we get to do something. All right, so we have 4, 5, 6, 7. Finally, I think we go in with the 1 attacker. tempted to put Karfell Kennelmaster down into the counter, but I think we're gonna, again, we're ahead on board here. He's used up a bunch of his things. Yeah, so... Ooh, how much do we have? Do we have enough for all of that? We kind of do. He has 2 mana open. We could use it to return something. What does he have to return? Any creatures? No. So let's do that. Let's attack with it. Let's try and sacrifice. If he's got the counter here, then he's got the counter. I think, yeah, Disdainful Stroke is likely to happen there. I think that's worth getting out of his hand. At that point, I think it's a back-breaking play. If he can't find a way to finish us off. If he has another Disdainful Stroke here, we're in bad shape, which is likely, but so it goes. That's fine. He has played this very patiently and very well. We can use Immerstern to deal him down to 9. Karfell comes in. Yeah, that Raven is pretty good. So we definitely put in a Kennelmaster. We'll play Dogged Pursuit. And no attacks. We will definitely commend my opponent. He was very patient. We played around the counters for a long time, maybe not long enough. Maybe we needed a little bit more patience. We've got a block here. Big piece. And that may have been it. We maybe just needed to, yeah, make another, wait, one more turn or something to get there. Our opponent definitely outlasted us and outplayed us a little bit here, and we paid the price on that. So this is definitely what I'm gonna go back and look and see if I should have just waited another turn, if I got a little too greedy, if I should have activated that ability. Yeah, so I know we saw those counters, we knew what they were, and we probably misplayed that. Our opponent was very patient, played very well this counter control deck on that, and I know one of my struggles, I get impatient. I kind of wait and wait and wait, and I say, okay, I've got to kind of bust through. And him having the second counter spell was definitely the turning point, which I figured he could have, was hoping he didn't, and there we go. So thanks for joining again. Please leave us those comments. Let me know what you think on especially that last match. Like the video, subscribe to the channel for more, and until next time, you guys have a good one.